part of me would like to tell you that I'm not going to work like this, but that would be a lie. We've been having a more relaxed dress code at work lately. And then also like themed days on Fridays, and today is Dress as Your Favorite Villain Day, so you know, naturally. Captain Hook. Don't have a hook. Just gonna walk around going, ah! So to be on brand and on theme, I'm gonna talk about my history with Peter Pan today. As I mentioned on this channel before, I've always loved Peter Pan. I don't remember a time where I didn't love Peter Pan. It was just always been something that's been part of my life. Like to the point where my family has very open dialogue about like weird things, like what happens if our parents dies, drinking, and also like tattoos. And when I was little, like little, we were talking about tattoos and like, you know, why you would get one, you know, make sure that it's a safe place that you get one, you know, don't just get one for the sake of getting one, get one and like save up, get something you really want, blah, 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 whatever my parents decided to tell us at the time. And then we started talking about like, if we were to get them, what would we get them? What would we get? And I was like, you know what, I'd get my entire family and the family that we grew up with that had kids the same age as me and my sister went Peter Pan. I was like 8. I was small. Okay, I was small. I was 8 and looked 18, but because I'm tall. It's just always been part of my life. My little brother, when he was around like 5 or 6 and I was about to go to college, he would go to the grocery store with my mother and see these like little kid activity books with Tinkerbell on them, because this is when the Tinkerbell movies first started coming out, and he would insist that my mother buy them for me because he Tinkerbell, Peter Pan, Sissy needs it. Did I have any interest in those things? Absolutely not. No, Peter Pan, yes, but like childish activity books that you get at the grocery store for like $8 or whatever it was at the time. No. But it was super sweet of him, and I was just like, oh, I'm touched. He doesn't do things like that anymore. He unsubscribed to my YouTube channel just to piss me off. He's gonna be 16, fucking dick. I'm the cool older sister. Cool. I'm wearing a pirate costume to work, so, you know, I think cool is subjective. Peter Pan's always been a part of my life. I remember getting like a really big copy. It was still like the original, like not printing, but the original story, the not abbreviated, abridged version. Jesus Christ, Cheyenne. Abridged version, but it was like the physical copy itself was big, and I would get it from my local library, which I lived across the street from. And I also remember when I read it, I had to read the first page and then read it again because it's in an older English, like it's not modern day. And as like, God, how old was I? Like 6, 7. God, I don't even remember. How old was I when I read Peter? I don't know. I can't remember. Either way, I remember having to read the pages twice because I would read the first page and then I was like, what? And then I had to read it again. And then the second time I read it, I instantly fell in love with it. To the point where as a child, I was like, no, I will finish this. I will do this. I will read it. I like it. It's just going to take me a little bit longer. And I used to get that book all the time. All the time. I never thought too hard about why I love Peter Pan. I just always had. It was just something that I did and then I liked and then I enjoyed, and I have an obsessive personality, so I either like something or I don't, and if I like it, I obsess over it. It wasn't until I started reading more critically that I started thinking about why it is I love Peter Pan. And it's one of the same reasons that I love Holly Black, is that there's just this sense of like childlike wonder in her stories, and I feel a nostalgic like pull every time I get that, and I think that comes from my love of Peter Pan. Are there things wrong with Peter Pan? Of course there are. It's racist and sexist, like bad, and also Wendy is a hoe, which is a whole nother video that I will be doing. I'll do it. I will tell you why Wendy is a hoe. Just, you gotta give me some time. And that's the other thing, like, about Peter Pan in general, is that, like, it's been adapted so many times. There's just something about it that makes it keep coming up, which is another thing that I want to get to in another video. But because of that, I have a lot of material that I get to have, and books is something that I'm also recently like starting to really get into, and because there's so many of them. The Finding Neverland musical is my favorite musical, very on brand. As I get older, the more obsessed I am with Peter Pan, the more like I want to know about the intricacies of it, the more I want to know about Jay and Barry, the more upset I get when people get information wrong. And I think that's a whole nother analysis about like as I get older, I become more obsessed with a story that is a children's story. It's not really. Anyway, that's a whole other thing as well. I plan on getting a Peter Pan tattoo, but I have put it off. One, because I'm full, and also because I don't want to get the wrong one. I hope this explains a little bit about like how deeply I love Peter Pan. We all know that I don't like children. So it's, you know, interesting that the thing I'm obsessed with is a book about children and staying young forever. But if I ever had the misfortune of having children of my own and it was a boy, his name would be Peter James. And I've known that since I was little. And I've never wanted children. But we're also, you know, predispositioned by society for women to be like thinking about the fact that they were going to become mothers because that's the only thing that we are technically, you know, deemed suitable to do. Anyway, not the point. Kind of the point, because it's also a theme in Peter Pan anyway. If I start going, I'm just going to keep going. It's something that happens in my everyday life. My lanyard for work is a Peter Pan lanyard. My background on my computer, before it was Ella, my niece, was a Peter Pan background. I'm known at work for loving Peter Pan. I have been at this job for a month. Surprise, surprise, my dramatic ass, you know, was very into acting. I was an actor in college, and then I didn't do anything after that until I saw that there were auditions, because my friend Christy actually sent me the link to it for our like local community theater for Peter and Wendy. And thus I dusted off my actor pants and auditioned. I did not audition for Wendy. No. I auditioned for Captain Hook. And I got it. If I can find pictures of me playing it, I'll put it here. We all wore pajamas. It was great. So I hope that this video explains to you or gives you a better idea about how much I truly love Peter Pan and the type of videos that I will be, you know, making on the subject. If you have any videos that you've seen online about Peter Pan that you know, particularly are like, hey, this is a good one, or if you have any questions about Peter Pan, please leave those down below. If there's a certain type of video about Peter Pan that you would like me to make, let me know. Except for Rachel from Reads with Rachel. Rachel, I have your list. I will make the Wendy as a hoe video. I promise. I promise. It was a green light and this person wasn't going because you were on your fucking phone! I'm gonna end this with my favorite Peter Pan quote of all time. Wendy, one girl is worth more than 20 boys. Peter had it right from day fucking one.